G'day and welcome to the live stream. Now, here I am in Australia, sitting here live to the whole universe. Well, a few people that are watching. A few of my subscribers, my Patreons and my YouTube members who I don't thank enough for their support because they really do help me get through the month and they help to pay for all the things that I need so I can keep doing the videos, which, buying these Airfix kits that I don't like. And that's what I want to talk about. I have been building the Hercules, all right? Yes, Heracles. And I reviewed that. I started a video on that. I did a whole interior, which you now can't really see. It's in there. Go back and watch that other video. There'll be photos. Actually, if I pull this off, there we go. Look, the seat's in there. And I was going to do the whole thing in flight. And so I'd gone all the trouble of chopping up the bloody tailplane and so I could do the flaps separate and I was going to cut all the ailerons off and all that. But I'm going to need pilots and I'm probably going to need people. Yeah, it is an awesome kit, Gene. It really is. And I thought, oh, I'll have to find 3D files. I thought, oh, that's a bit small to print for my printer. And then I got to paint them all. I thought, oh, no, bugger it. It'll be probably, well, it'll be sitting, but it'll have no elevation or flappellation or whatever. So I sort of wasted my time doing all that. But it'll still look very nice. And that is an Airfix kit that I really like. That's the Airfix kits that I remember from the 60s. They were quirky and they were fun and they went together reasonably well. A little bit of fiddling, but nothing that was too difficult. There really wasn't a lot of flashback in those days. There's hardly any on that. All went together nicely. It's a joyful little subject. I'm not worried too much about super intense detail. There's enough detail to keep me happy. Tiny bit of putty. This required very little puttying. The only putty I put was here. Tiny bit. Right? That's it. That's all it needed. And, maybe if I'd sort of taken a bit more care putting the fuselage together, I probably could have avoided that. But none of the rest needed it. This just needed sanding. All round, sanding. And the clever design means the top panels go on, so there's no actual seam line here and there. So it's very well. Cleverly engineered. Nice little kit. And I'd already built the wings and everything last time, so they'll be easy again putting the struts in. This is the Airfix that I love. This is the Airfix I have enjoyed for 70 years. Yep, well, nearly. I'm getting there, I can tell you. I got so excited when that hood kit, I found it, and it was basically a white box, what it appeared to be. But it was an American version. I didn't really know much about that. And I've been sourly disappointed in the quality and the instructions. It's just bad all over. Just very bad. It's not, And I talked to a lot of the people and they've had the American version. That's how it was. It's bad. They've also had the pre-1965 version of the hood and it did have some problems. Some people said it was okay. Some people have said, yep, I had all the massive big sinkholes and everything, so you don't know. Anybody that built it afterwards, and I built it in 1967, so people that built it into the early 70s, they got all their parts numbered, and they got the really nice instructions, and generally, there wasn't too much. There were tiny little sinkholes, but it wasn't that bad. It was a nice kit to build. It all fitted and went together and, that was the experience that I had. That's the experience I had with every single one of my Airfix warships. Even though I was a young whippersnapper, knew nothing. If it had been horrible and too frustrating, I would have just tossed in the bin and moved on with my life. But I didn't. I enjoyed it. So this is the thing. There have been a few hoods for sale and I've been tempted to possibly get a white box. It's going to cost me a bit though, at least 3 times what I pay for that kit. Get a Weebix? Yeah, I have my Weebix for breakfast. But I could get a white box and then compare a UK version white box from later on, from about, late 60s, early 70s. See what that's like. That'll be the one that I built years ago. And trouble is then what do I do with the American one? I've got to sell it on to some poor bugger and say, yeah, it's a great kit. There's nothing wrong with that. I'd feel really bad, so I'd have to bin it, and I don't want to do that. And then there's the Airfix. It's up there. The Bulldog, which should have been so good. I was looking forward to it so much. The Airfix announced they're going to do a 148 Bulldog. They had a 172 for years. I'd rather build it in 148, and I'd already built that Fury, that Hawker Fury in 148, even though technically it wasn't an Airfix kit, it was like a Reebok style Pyro one, but I made that one work. It was a bit annoying, but not as annoying as an American kit. If you sell the hood, don't tell them that you've got a YouTube. Exactly. I'd probably give the hood to Becca and he put it on eBay and sell it that way. They can blame him, you know. Technically, Becca paid for it. I don't actually own that kit, so it's really not mine. So I just hand it back to Becca going, yeah, I changed my mind. Now, I promised I would do another review, which was that Zhongshan Jin, right? Which is a gunboat, a Chinese gunboat. Actually, the boat was made in Japan and then shipped over to China and then was in a war against China, and then they sunk it or something and dragged it up, and then they basically, somebody ended up making a museum ship. So that ship actually exists. You can actually go and visit it still. So that's really handy if you want a reference to build it. And it's 1 to 144 scale, which is rather nice sort of size for small ships. So it builds up, you know, a reasonable sort of size. It is battery, radio control, sort of, that's the idea, is to put it in your bathtub and let it spin around, or park or pond or something. And you know, I know Becca's really excited about that. So I will review that kit so you can see it, see what it's all about. But it's going to Becca. Yes, you didn't know that, Becca? Yes, Chris? It's going to you. I won't have time to do that. And you can go with your big Yamato. He's got a giant, I think it's a 1/200 scale Yamato, you know. And he can put those both in his bathtub and have a whale of a time. I'll sell him one of my submarines. You can really have some fun then. So the Bulldog, I was so excited about it. So excited about it. But the kit looked nice in the box, sort of, until I started building it. And then I found it so frustrating. Now, is it me? It probably is me in some ways. My eyesight is not there anymore. I need glasses for all the time. And I've got floaters in my eyes. I've got diminished bloody thing. I've got possible cataracts, but they say, no, I haven't got cataracts yet, but they run in my family. So, you know, my eyes are going to give out, and it's just a matter of time. I've got to look after them as much as possible. So, yeah, the really fiddly stuff is getting harder and harder for me to do. I can sit at my computer for a couple of hours, which isn't too bad because it's away from me, screen, and I can blow things up fairly big, and I can design all those tools, and then I can 3D print them, and I really enjoy doing that. And that's the thing, that is very enjoyable at the moment because it's very doable. But some of the kits I've tried to build lately, like that little armoured thing, basically it's like a shummy wagon thing, right? That one I got from, what was it from? From Das Works. Should have been the greatest, but they're such tiny fiddly parts, I can't do that anymore. So I think it's a case of, if there are tiny little fiddly parts, ping, especially if they're never going to be seen, which is my biggest objection, gone, you know. So Gene says he's hesitating to buy the Bulldog. Look, it's still a good kit, Gene. It's still fairly good engineering. It's still got lots of detail. It's just not an easy kit to build. So it's really up there with the difficult kits for Airfixes. They've tried really outsmarted themselves, as I said. And the instructions are vague and horrible. They're really, like, the 3D printer itself from the same thing. With the instructions to put your printer together, everything is a lovely big CAD drawing because they've got it, because the CAD guy did it, and so he's got the whole thing, so he wants to use it all. But you only need to know this one tiny little piece, right? There's one tiny little piece, that's all you need to know about, and you vitally need to know which screw goes into what hole. But at the distance that they give it to you way back here, you can't see the bloody thing. So, you know, the people that are doing these manuals don't understand what the person that has to put things together goes through, and doesn't realise, they don't know, they haven't been in the factory, they haven't been shown one already built, they haven't, you know. The only way to really, oh, there's a motorbike again, the motorbike's, he's heading off, I think. He'll spend 10 minutes warming up his motor, making sure he annoys me. The only way to really cope with these things is, I find, is you go and find a YouTube video where someone's put it together. Luckily with Elegoo, they have videos of all the builds. So my Neptune 4 Pro, there was a video that showed me how it all went together. There are even separate videos on each part assembly, like how to assemble the hot end on there, how to fix this when you've broken it. It says, for Harry Houdini, how to fix when you set fire to your printer. Yeah, there's a video. Well, it probably doesn't say for Harry Houdini, but there's a video on absolutely pulling all the bits to bits, pulling all the pieces out so you can fix when you've had an absolute massive bloody jam and everything. So I'm not too frightened now if I have a bit of a problem with the Neptunes, and that's why I got another Neptune. is there's plenty of video documentation, which is so much easier to understand than these drawings. You know, they're like way back here, like showing the whole thing in tiny little lines. And then you really want to know, what's that screw there? I can't see it. I can't see it on the diagram. It's hopeless. But I watch the video and it's all blown up, close-ups. I see the guy threading the screw in the hole. Aha! A lot of what I do, because it's Airfix and European kits, it relates to that market. So the Americans can just watch the replay, you know. As it is, they have to put the bloody thing on to translate because they can't understand Australian. Fair dinkum. Yeah, fair suck of the sab, you wombat. Don't know why. I mean, I know sometimes I talk a bit fast, and I've seen the videos where I've gone, ramble. It's usually I'm reviewing a kit and I get really excited. Motor mouth takes over, and blah, 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 you know. But I've heard people on YouTube, other people and Americans, and they just 100 miles an hour, you know, and I find those channels very hard to watch. In fact, the one British guy does a sort of it's interesting subjects, and what he's got to say is great, but he is so fast. He's, and then on this, and it puts me off. So I can understand. So, you know, I can put the captions on, but I can't be bothered. I'm too lazy. That's a button I have to push. Who's got the time? These fingers, they're too busy. Got other things to do. Scratching myself. What did you think? Scratching myself. Yeah, so the Bulldog kit, look, don't let me put anybody off buying it. No, I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm saying be aware it's not an easy kit to build. Be aware the instructions are very vague, and in my opinion, as a graphic artist and someone who has written instructions for software systems he has to make, you know, and things like that all my life, I've done that sort of thing. And when I've built things as well, I have to write instructions. I know what it's like to be very, you need to be clear. And you don't assume everyone knows what you're talking about. You don't show something and on the back side is what they want to know about, and you just go, yeah, it's around the back. Yeah, not showing it. It's around the back there. Yeah, we're sure you'll figure it out. That's not acceptable. And they did that a number of times, at least 3 times in those instructions. That's just not acceptable, you know. If it's round the back, then you need a exploded picture around the other way to let know back side, right? And then there's the arseholes that it goes into. Bastards. I've got 2 things in order. Clear filament, so I can make canopies and windows. So in case like with the with this guy, I could have gone, well, the Airfix parts are a bit thick. Let's see if I can actually make some tiny little thin windows, right? And I can print them out. And that's what I want to know is, can I do things like that, you know? It'd be good for the sailing ships as well, because often in the galleys and everything, it'd be nice to totally cut out all the holes around the back of the ship, you know, where the windows are for the galleys and everything, and then put in little clear parts. Now, I have done it in the past by using like acetate sheets. It's a lot of mucking around. But if I could 3D create a part that just goes straight in, that'd be so easy, so nice. And then I could share that with community and say, well, there you go. You'd have to get some clear filament, but it wasn't that expensive. It was about 2 shekels. It was on special for clear filament. And then I can also print some flight stands once Becca comes up with all his ideas and his designs, which I'll probably have to end up doing. And then I can print out a few stands for a few of these aircraft, you know, even though the poor old Heracles, it'll be in just landing mode and the pilots are ejected. So it's in crash mode. No passengers, they've all escaped, and the pilots have also jumped out. Yeah, I did the white glue thing. I actually did it on here, Jane. I did the white glue thing. Jane just said, do the white glue thing. On these tiny little round windows, you might see how they're shiny. What happened was, I went to sort of do all this, and I put in this back door here, and then I went, oh, bugger, I haven't painted that. And then hang on, there's a big hole in it. What's that for? And of course, it has a little window as well. And I went, oh, I better look on the sprue. And yeah, there's a little window for it. So luckily I'd only just put it in, so it was easy enough to prise it out because I put it in with Rebel contactor, so it hadn't completely fused. It was easy enough just to gently pry it out. White glued in my little window and then back in again, sealed it all in with a bit of Tamiya thin because that'll actually loosens up the Rebel contactor and then the whole thing just welds. So that's nice. And then I went, oh, look on the sprue, there's 2 little round things. And they are for those 2 windows. So I went, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I thought, well, somebody, might have been you, Jane, said use white wood glue. So I don't know where it is. It's around here somewhere. Anyhow, yeah, I got some cellies, my Sally's Aqua here they use for everything, and I put a couple of drops on the 2 windows and then just cotton bud around them to clean them out. And yeah, it went right across, sat in place, and now you can sort of see, if I catch it by the light, you'll see it's actually shiny. You see so it's actually not holes anymore, it's actually got shininess. So that is a clever trick. So it's all ready to go. And then the neighbour next door, he decided it'd be really good. This is now about 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, and I'm all into gear. Want to get stuck into this, get as much done as I can on Saturday. And then come Sunday, I'd finish off in the morning a bit of painting, and I'd present a video probably of at least assembled and base painted, you know. But no, he decided today would be a good day to bring in a whole lot of trucks, cement mixers, and drop a slab, you know, concrete base for his garage that he's going to put right outside my window on this side. So there was a great big noisy cement mixer. There were copious utes, at least 4 utes here, all turned up. Each one had a workman in it. One guy on the actual, well, first they had to dig the hole. So first there's a guy in here with a what do you call it, a backhoe thing, and he's digging the hole. One guy. 4 guys to watch, all talking at the top of their voice because the backhoe is really loud. So there's all this noise and 5 people, right? And then when that finishes, I thought, oh, good. And I sort of had some lunch and thought, oh, well, maybe I can get and do the video this afternoon. No sooner I got in here, the cement mixer turned up. And then again, there's one guy, the cement mixer, and the rest of it and everything, and another 5 guys to stand around and talk really loudly. And so that went on till late in the afternoon. And by then I just went, forget it. This isn't just going to happen. So there was just no more done. So I thought, no, look, I'll get up early on Sunday and I'll get stuck into it. And I did. I got up nice and early this morning, Sunday morning for me. And I thought, I'll get into it. I'll get things going and get things done. And I checked, and no, they were quiet as a mouse next door. I thought, this is terrific. Okay, well, I just got to wait for a few of the motorbikes to get through, because usually you've got to wait till about 9:30, 10 o'clock, because a lot of the motorbikes are coming through. They've just left Brisbane 8, 9 o'clock. They get here about 9, 10. They refuel just near my place, and then they go for a big ride around all the mountains and everything. So I'm used to that. I know, get all that out of the way, do what I need to do, and then I'll be able to start dropping some voice work in after 10 o'clock. No problem. And then at 10 o'clock, my iPad went black. The black screen of death, apparently it's called. And it sort of has done this a couple of times lately. And I usually bang a bit on the button. I press the thing with, you stick your fingernail, you know, your finger identity, and bang, bang, bang. And eventually it pops out and it comes back. But it didn't. It didn't at all. So, no, I was stuck with a dead iPad. Oh, well, this is great. I mean, I could probably shoot my video now, but what am I going to edit it on? I've got time to download software and muck around all that. I mean, and especially all my other stuff's in there, all the basses, my music tracks, and, you know, my little filling pieces there. I thought, what the heck am I going to do? So 3 hours later, I finally did a whole lot of checking on YouTube and looking up what other people have done, how to fix the Black Death. And I have got it working. That's why I am using it now. But it has to stay permanently on. I cannot turn it off. I cannot let it go into sleep mode. I have to be very careful, because the second this goes into sleep mode, it may never come back on again. Something is seriously wrong. I've done all the software updates, everything, but there is a problem, and it is known. So I've ordered a new iPad, but that won't be here for a few days. So I have to keep this thing alive. I have to keep it powered up, on, and the rest of it. So anyway, once that was all done, it came to lunchtime today, I thought, there's no way I'm going to get a Heracles video out. And I thought, oh, well, maybe I can do a live stream. Yeah, lots of people turn up for a live stream, have a chat about Airfix. And here we are. And there's all these multitude of people watching. So there you go. There it is. Well, unless there's any other questions, I've got nothing much more to talk about. So, yes. Italy pure crap. Yeah, I don't like Italy much. There's some kits apparently they make which are quite nice. I have got their Sparrow. That's supposed to be a reasonably good kit. But that Fiat, just after I did their Schwimmwagen, it was pretty terrible. And that Fiat was just a nightmare. And after that, I just didn't want to. I sold all my Italy kits, bar the Sparrow. Well, actually, I did spell the Sparrow to Becca. And then down the track, he said, that's actually a good kit. So I bought it back off him. So, all right, so nothing more to say. No more comments. Do you want me to see if I can find Bass the Cat? Let me go and see if I can find Bass the Cat. You just wait there. Here we go. Look. I know, why did you say hello to these people? Have a look at the screen. Don't look at me. There she is. And she does this every time. I don't know what it is, whether the lights are on or she's worried about me swearing. Hey? Oh, poor old Besky. Hey? People like want to talk to you. You don't want to talk to them. No. You're such a diva normally. You pose for the stills camera. You'll put everything out and do all these poses. Second I try and put you here. Can you purr? No, just whinge. This is all that happens every time. Anyhow, here we go. That's Best the Cat. Well, that's about all we've got time for because it's a short one. I've got to go and cook dinner and make a nice curry. You need some more fish? Do you want some more fish? Oh, look at those ears. The delta ears, yeah. All right. She's gone, bolted at a million miles an hour. Oh, Basky. Anyhow, thank you to everybody that turned up. That was really good. And yes, Jane, I said hello to Bass for you. That's lovely. So there you go. That's it. That's my live show. I hope you enjoyed it. So it's oh look, yeah, there'll probably be like the button thing, you know, in the replay. All you replaying people, you get buttons. Push a button. I don't care anymore. Oh, well, I could do with a curry. Yeah, actually, I'm going to cook one tonight. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jane. That's lovely to hear. That's really good. Yes, so I've literally got 100% approval to this video. Because only one person turned up. Anyhow, that'll do. Goodbye from Australia, and it's hooroo from Harry Houdini. It's just a video. You love doing that.